Hundreds of thousands of users worldwide are hacked every day. Mostly, their data settles on the darknet. Much worse, if you or your loved ones became the target of the hacker group Revil, also known as Sodinokibi. The rubric is based on articles by Bloomberg, Bleeping Computer Weekly, Kaspersky Lab, 3D News and Kommersant Publishing. In 2006, the Committee of Ministers of the Council of Europe decided to launch a Data Protection Day, to be celebrated worldwide each year on the 28th of January. Consequently, Kaspersky Lab conducted a survey about the digital habits of users. Turned out that 30% of Russian respondents posted personal information about themselves on social networks, in particular their phone number, home address or place of work. Every 10th user shared confidential data on networks including documents, which he later regretted. Anna Larkina, a content analysis expert at Kaspersky Lab, recalls that the publication of excessive information about oneself is defined by the term oversharing. Much worse, if your data will settle in the darknet. On October 2021, the data of Moscow car owners appeared on the darknet. Hackers put up for sale for $800 a database of 50 million lines with the data of drivers who were registered in Moscow and the Moscow region from 2006 to 2019. A bonus for the purchase is a file with information from 2020. The database contains names, dates of birth, phone numbers, VIN codes and car registration plates, car brands and models, as well as the year of registration. It is not the first time that the databases of the traffic police of Moscow are put up for sale. In August 2020, a database of 1 million lines with personal data of drivers appeared on the network. On the darknet, the cost of such databases varies from $1,000 to $15,000. The seller claims to have received information from an insider in the traffic police, but some experts believe that the leak could have occurred at the level of regional information systems that are integrated with the traffic police databases to issue fines for violation of parking rules. However, judging by the composition of the data, the new base of car owners is not an unloading from the traffic police system, but rather an unloading from the bases of insurers, believes Ashot Hovanesyan, founder of the Service for Intelligence of Data Leaks and Monitoring of the Dark Web. On December 3, 2021, personal data appeared from the database of the Verimed Clinic in Moscow, which treats alcoholism, drug addiction and other addictions. Medical records have one of the highest payoffs for vendors on the darknet. Estimates from experts say the resale value of a medical record is from $70 to $100 each, depending on how comprehensive it is and what type of patient it belongs to. Information about the leak. The database of the Verimed Clinic in Moscow is checked by Roskomnadzor, Federal Service for Supervision of Communications, Information Technology, and Mass Communications. If the Verimed base is reliable, the clinic can get more than problems from the regulator. Her clients may face with blackmail and extortion. In most countries of the world, such a leak can easily lead the company to bankruptcy, and not because government agencies will issue fines to it. The reason is precisely in the claims of the victims. According to the Data Leakage and Breach Intelligence Service, the cost of breakthrough of database of the specific Russian citizens in 2021 more than doubled, and in the case of banking information, 4 times. If in 2020 the median price of breakthrough of clients of banks, mobile operators and government agencies in the Russian-language darknet was about $90, then in 2021 it has grown to almost $230 per unit. The cost of a bank breakthrough has quadrupled compared to last year. Thus, in 2021, an account or card statement of an individual, for example, from Sberbank of Russia, could cost $750 per month, and about $1,800 for 6 months. In general, over the past 5 years, the breakthrough market in Russia has grown 7 times, report analysts from the Data Leakage and Breach Intelligence Service. Price growth is influenced by the type of data, their volume, as well as the level of protection in companies, says Dmitry Golov, cybersecurity expert at Kaspersky Lab. The requirements for the security of banking data are growing both on the part of regulators and counterparties, and the reputational factor also matters. But stolen data doesn't always cost in the darknet. For example, in 2020, more than 500,000 Zoom user accounts ended up on darknet sites for less than 1 cent each, and in some cases were given away for free. These credentials were collected using the credential stuffing method, a type of cyber attack, in which attackers try to access an online service using previously stolen user credentials by automatically enumerating registration data, login password. Some of the Zoom accounts were given away for free so that the hackers could deserve a reputation in their community. But databases are not the only ones traded. Against the backdrop of the COVID-19 pandemic, on the black markets of the darknet, among the many offers for the sale of non-existent protective masks, hand sanitizers and toilet paper, McAfee computer security specialists discovered a forum where there were offers to sale of blood plasma samples from people who have already had coronavirus infection. In November 2021, unknown persons put up for sale on the darknet the data of Russians who bought fake certificates of vaccination and passing the PCR test. It is known that the information contained in the database affects more than 500,000 people from the Moscow region. It contains the passport data, SNILs, the insurance number of an individual personal account, telephone numbers, information about the place of residence, as well as the date the fake certificate was received. Purchasing a fake vaccination certificate is a criminal offense in Russia, with a maximum penalty of up to 1 year in prison for purchasers. It is naive to believe that attackers will be attentive to your personal data if you applied for an illegal service, warns Vadim Solovyov, head of the Positive Technologies Information Security Threat Analysis Group. Fraudsters can offer services to remove information from the database to citizens who have bought fake certificates for themselves. A darker scenario is to be expected if you have become the target of the Russia-based and Russian-speaking hacker group Ransomware Evil, REvil for short, also known as Sodinokibi. REvil is an organized gang of cybercriminals that provides ransomware services. In the case of refusal to pay the ransom, REvil published the victim's confidential information on their page Happy Blog. REvil is considered one of the most active cyber gangs in the world. Some REvil's attacks have received wide publicity. In May 2020 they demanded $42 million from US President Donald Trump. The group claimed to have done this by deciphering the elliptic curve cryptography that the firm used to protect its data. According to an interview with an alleged member, they found a buyer for Trump information, but this cannot be confirmed. In April 2021, REvil stole plans for upcoming Apple products from Quanta Computer, which is said to include plans for a pair of Apple laptops, a new Apple Watch and a new Lenovo ThinkPad. REvil threatened to release the plans publicly unless they receive $50 million. On the 30th of May 2021, JBS was attacked by ransomware, which forced the temporary shutdown of all the company's United States beef plants, and disrupted operations at poultry and pork plants. A few days later, the White House announced that REvil may be responsible for the JBS cyber attack. The FBI confirmed the connection in a follow-up statement on Twitter. JBS paid an $11 million ransom in Bitcoin to REvil.
This threat is not imminent, it is upon us.
Cyber attacks against TV stations, food and fuel suppliers, hospitals, water systems. These hacks have been happening for a long time. Ransomware.
On the 2nd of July 2021, hundreds of managed service providers had REvil ransomware dropped on their systems through Cassia desktop management software. REvil demanded $70 million to restore encrypted data. As a consequence, the Swedish Coop grocery store chain was forced to close 800 stores during several days. On the 7th of July 2021, REvil hacked the computers of Florida-based space and weapon launch technology contractor HX5, which counts the Army, Navy, Air Force, and NASA among its clients, publicly releasing stolen documents on its Happy blog. The New York Times judged the documents to not be of vital consequence. In September 2021, Romanian cybersecurity firm Bitdefender published a free universal decrypt utility to help victims of the REvil ransomware recover their encrypted files. From September until early November, the decryptor was used by more than 1,400 companies to avoid paying over $550 million in ransom and allow them to recover their files. On July 13, 2021, Revell sites on the dark web stopped responding to search queries. Some experts in the US have speculated that Revell's sudden disappearance from the darknet could be related to a phone call between the US and Russian presidents the day before. On January 14, 2022, during a special operation by the FSB and the Russian Ministry of Internal Affairs, carried out at the request of the US authorities, the activities of the group were stopped. The detention took place on the territory of Moscow, St. Petersburg, Moscow, Leningrad and Lipetsk regions. 426 million rubles, 500,000 euros, $600,000, 20 premium cars were confiscated from cyber criminals. The battle was won, but not war, as part of Operation Gold Dust involving 17 countries, Europol, Eurojust and Interpol. Law enforcement authorities arrested 5 individuals tied to Revell and 2 suspects connected to GandCrab ransomware. They are allegedly responsible for 5,000 infections and collected €500,000 in ransomware payments. On the 8th of November 2021, the United States Department of Justice unsealed indictments against Ukrainian national Yaroslav Vasynsky and Russian national Yevgeny Polyanin. Vasynsky was charged with conducting ransomware attacks against multiple victims including Kasia, and was arrested in Poland on the 8th of October. Polyanin was charged with conducting ransomware attacks against multiple victims including Texas businesses and government entities. Additionally, in February, April and October 2021 authorities in South Korea arrested 3 affiliates involved in the GandCrab and Revell ransomware families, which had more than 1,500 victims. On the 4th of November, Kuwaiti authorities arrested another GandCrab affiliate, meaning a total of 7 suspects linked to the 2 ransomware families have been arrested since February 2021. They are suspected of attacking about 7,000 victims in total. On January 12, 2021, the German authorities shut down Dark Market, the largest black market on the darknet. Dark Market traded in all products prohibited by law, from drugs and counterfeit money to stolen bank cards and malware. The last few years have become a black streak in the history of the existence of black markets in the darknet. Dark Market, Wall Street Market, Empire Market and dozens of other similar sites have ceased operations due to increased measures taken by law enforcement agencies. Although the war against the gangs of cyber criminals is intensifying and taking place globally, only isolated battles are won, and he will not be won for long.